Last year, he'll take on Jerome Kelly. A middleweight fight when we come back. Tony Montgomery and Jerome Kelly. Let's go ringside to Jimmy Lennon Jr. to introduce our second bout.
All right, fans, here we go. Our next bout coming your way features middleweights in the ring. This is scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing the first on my left, he is fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the ring with black trunks and red trim and hailing from Akron, Ohio. His weight this evening, 164 and 1/4 pounds, with a record of 8 wins, 11 defeats, 2 draws, with 3 wins by way of knockout. Please welcome to the ring, Jerome Kelly. And his opponent across the ring. On my right, he is fighting out of the red corner in this 10-round middleweight bout. He enters the ring ready to fight, attired in white trunks with gold trim. Hailing from Detroit, Michigan. His weight, 162 and 1/2 pounds, with a fine record of 24 wins, only 5 losses, with 15 wins by way of knockout. Welcome the fighter they call Dr. Detroit, Tony Montgomery. Once again, here's your referee in charge, Herbert Min.
All right, I've given you instructions in the dressing room. Any questions? Any questions? All right, shake hands. Let's get going.
We take a look at the tail of the tape, and Tony Montgomery giving away a couple of inches in reach to journeyman Jerome Kelly, who's lost his last 8 bouts. Jerome Kelly fighting for survival, it would seem, against Tony Montgomery, who's had some good bouts in his career. A war with Donald Curry, a 5-round BQ back in '87, and that 12-round loss to Terry Norris back in '89. Montgomery at 62. Kelly 64. Kelly's 32. Montgomery is 29 years old. Muster up a new commitment to boxing. Right now he's got Kelly
Do me a
on the
favor
ropes.
when the bell rings, move
First of
over a
10
little because I'm
rounds.
going to work in it.
You can see he's a very talented welterweight. When he first started out, had some problems. He had a nice style, uses his jab well, combinations. Let's see if this added weight can help him. Sometimes it'll do that to a fighter. He's taking some time off to relax, clear his mind, and get back into his business.
Right back. Kelly's been everybody's opponent, although he did give a good fight to Frank Nicotra, a middleweight European champ in France in February this year, and lost a decision to him. So Kelly is going to try and hang in there this afternoon against Tony Montgomery. Snapping jab by Detroit Montgomery in the white trunks, Kelly black trunks, red trunks.
Here's Kelly if you recall his opponent because he comes into the round and usually does well. He'll give a fighter a good fight, a good test. You see he's defensively does very well. He protects himself real good. A lot of those shots are not landing, so he's not getting hit.
Tony Montgomery with that head in there, you recall a few years ago, headbutting Donald Curry, and Tony was disqualified. USBA title fight, that was in '87. Tony actually beginning his career as a karate champion. He's a second-degree black belt, did some kickboxing also.
Tony's doing some very good work inside. Uppercuts, both hands, working him up, right up the middle.
Come on. Under the middle. Now you. Right. Gotta be quick.
Wear down Kelly.
Behind the elbow.
We'll be right back.
Right hand behind the elbow. Right back.
Do it. You know, we talk Carlos so often about crossroads fights, and although certainly Kelly considered just an opponent for Tony Montgomery, he does have to look good here. Tony hasn't done much with his career in the past year or so. In fact, thought about going into business at one point back in LA, but he wants to continue fighting. Well, so here's his chance to get back into it.
This is it's a great opportunity for him to do well and get some other fights, but at this point, fighting like an opponent.
Certainly Tony's 29 and time working against him at this point.
Oh, straight right hand.
Go ahead.
Fights back. Fights back. That's a good, outstanding combination by Kelly. I mean, he got hit, he came right back. Oh.
They've got two brawlers really going to work now.
Come on, where your heart is?
You won't have much of a clinic on footwork this afternoon, but certainly Montgomery really likes to get his head in there and now, right? Catches Jerome Kelly.
Montgomery's running home for that right hand. Pause the jab, you shoot the straight right hand on the middle. It's landing every time.
Put something behind. There you go, right back, right back.
Kelly taking a lot of punishment here in the afternoon sun in Honolulu. It may start to add up. Second round, 10-rounder.
Well, especially the body punches. He's been getting hit quite a bit in the body. Later rounds, it goes to later rounds. It's going to really starts to take your legs away, takes away your breath, hard to breathe. So, walk to the right hand.
Kelly showing a lot of heart. Both fighters did come over to the islands on Wednesday, so they had a few days to acclimate.
Come on, doubles and triples, speed up. Work. There you go. Bring it back. Now you got
teeing off on each other now.
Run on. Speed ahead.
So a good look at Jerome Kelly, and back in Tony Montgomery, Jerome Kelly. First round to Tony Montgomery. What'd you see in that second round, Carlos?
Well, I gave it to Montgomery. He landed more effective punches. Kelly did do some countering, and landed some good punches himself, but the round, I think, it went to Montgomery. And in the corner of Kelly, they were really on him about throwing more combinations and throwing punches in twos, threes, and fours. He came out and started that way, but now he's on the receiving end of Montgomery's punches.
Kelly fighting from that defensive posture, but he lashes out every now and then, and Tony Montgomery's got to be a bit careful about walking into some of those shots.
Well, he's a little bit more active this round. He is trying to do more.
You gotta put some power behind it. Sit down, lock it up low.
I think what he needs to do, something that would work for him, is that Montgomery sets up that right hand. All Kelly has to do is lean to the left, avoid it, and hook with his own left hand, and I think he'd catch Montgomery. But I haven't seen him make that move yet, but that would be a good move for him to use. Or just got hit with another right hand.
Some combinations by Tony Montgomery. He tries to wear down Jerome Kelly here in round 3.
He's finding it so easy to land to the head that he's abandoned the body work he was doing in the first couple rounds, and I think that's a mistake. Going strictly to the head now.
Come on, answer him back with some punches. He just as tired as you. Run up. Run up. Gym, baby, we're at the gym. Come on. Put all the arms inside.
But look at the neck on Tony Montgomery. He really uses that head, and shoulders, and neck as a lead weapon. Tony's, no pun intended, really does have his head on straight. He's a smart kid going into business, he hopes. Attended Long Beach State University. He was a kickboxer and karate expert before deciding to get into boxing. Hurt his hand back in 1984, and his career never really taking off. So less than 30 seconds to go in round 3. Scheduled 10-rounder.
All right, break. Come on, work. Deeper, go ahead. Keep going.
All right, round 3 comes to an end. We'll be back with more from Aloha Stadium in Honolulu in just a few minutes. All right, round 4, Tony Montgomery against Jerome Kelly. Middleweights doing battle here in Aloha Stadium, and a pretty good crowd on hand, and more filtering in, anticipating an appearance by Tommy Hearns coming up later on in the show. Tony Montgomery, white trunks from Detroit. In fact, Tommy Hearns inviting a lot of the Detroit fighters like Milt McCrory and Tony Montgomery to come on in and help him out with his card today for the benefit of the U.S. troops. And Jerome Kelly now in round 4 showing a bit of spunk.
They'll be getting on him on his corner. They want him to do more work, and he's trying. But he's walking into punches from Montgomery. He's a little bit slicker style. Uses the jab well. Combination, there he goes.
You know, when Tony gets on his horse, it does look like he can move, and we haven't seen any of this so far. Do you think he...
Well, he's got very good movement. You see it there. He does, but with this kind of an opponent who is waiting for him to make the first move, it's very difficult. You have to come to fight. I think against someone who would put pressure on him, you'd see a much better Tony Montgomery.
So some dancing and movement now by Tony Montgomery.
I think he has to get used to his weight also. He was a welterweight, now fighting at 162 pounds. A little bit more weight to carry. Doesn't seem to have the same power he did at the welterweight. He's also hitting a bigger man that can take it a little bit more. So it's something that takes time.
Evidenced by a loss to Willie Monroe as a 160-pounder back in 1990. A loss back then to the 160 pounds, and then Tony dropped back to the 154-pound range. Now he's back up above 160. So Tony bouncing around a bit in weight category.
Well, he's probably trying to find his weight where he's most comfortable. And I would assume from his performance that he would be better off than what he did before. I think he'd have a little bit of power there, be quicker, lighter.
We hear Sonny Oliver in the corner of Jerome Kelly trying to get his fighter to do some boxing with Tony Montgomery.
Keep it going. You don't stop.
Action heating up from Aloha Stadium. Tony Montgomery and Jerome Kelly. Back in a minute with round 5. Heading into the card this afternoon, we were predicting some quick knockouts, perhaps, at least in the later bouts, but Kelly giving a good accounting of himself against Tony Montgomery. Into round 5, scheduled 10-rounder.
Doing well now, landing good uppercuts. You're right about that head. It's right in there, the chin of Kelly.
Yeah, he headbutted Donald Curry, and that was a string where Donald Curry really got wrapped a few times. Headbutting with Carlos Santos, I think, in the ensuing fight. But you can see where Tony's really got a penchant for getting that head in there. Kelly, on the other hand, trying to wrap up.
I'm really surprised that Montgomery has abandoned the really good body work he was doing the first couple of rounds. I'm surprised they haven't told him in the corner to go back to the body, because it seems to me that a few rounds of that body attack and Jerome Kelly would have been looking for a place to go. He was being hurt with those body shots. Man with a good right hand himself.
Well, again, Carlos, on a neutral court under these conditions with the heat, really might be a leveling factor, a neutralizing factor, because Tony really not able to mount much, although he would appear to be ahead in all 3 cards through 4 rounds, at least judging by the fact that he has pressed the attack.
Well, he's landed, he's landing pretty much at will, but they doesn't seem to be able to hurt Kelly, so that's why I have suspicion of punching power at this weight class. Landed some very good right hands right on the money. They have not affected Kelly.
Well, Kelly only comes in 2 pounds heavier, 164 versus 162, but he does look like a bigger fighter.
Yeah, I was noticing that the Montgomery, his upper body still looks like a welterweight. I guess he put the weight on the lower part of his body, but he's not using that weight correctly.
Well, Tony took a shot on the break.
There was some good action at the end of that round. What Tony was trying to do was set up Kelly by shooting a lot of light punches, then trying to load up on one big one to see if he could surprise him and get him out of there.
That's Walt Tyler, who worked with Mike Weaver, excuse me, a few years back, and he's been with Tony this week in Hawaii, and he's giving him some advice now as we head into round 6 coming up.
There we go. That's some good work by Kelly. Both fighters they're kind of leaning on each other there, but they landed some good shots in the beginning of that exchange. Not much power behind either one of those either guy's punches, so I think maybe the heat has taken over and taken some of their strength away.
And Sonny Oliver in the corner of Jerome Kelly. Sonny working with Michael Dokes, the former heavyweight champ, earlier in his career, and he's come out from Ohio to be with Jerome Kelly this week. So a fighting vacation for all of these fighters from Ohio and from Detroit, Michigan this afternoon here in Honolulu, Hawaii. We hope you're enjoying the action still to come. Don't forget Milton McCrory, Anthony Hembrick, and of course the champ, Tommy Hearns.
I think they got Tony Montgomery to go back to the body. I heard they were yelling at him, but what he was doing. And he started out this round by working the body. There he goes with the hook to the body, but he's just pushing his punches now, just touching Kelly. Kelly coming on. Well, I have to say that the sun does have a tendency to sap your strength a little bit, but I think that both of these guys' conditioning was not the best, because we're only in the 6th round and they've been walking around for the last couple of rounds already.
Montgomery hasn't fought since December of last year and lost that one. 10-rounder to Luis Vasquez.
He just landed a vicious right hand. Mouthpiece came out that he's hurt, and Kelly's hurt.
Kelly taking some shots now as we'll see if Tony is able to press the attack or is he punched out. And now he's tied up. Still a minute and change for Tony Montgomery to go to work on Jerome Kelly.
See, there's no need for Tony to be that close. He's smothering his own punches. He's got to take a half step back and end this thing.
There you go. Get that chin down. Come on.
There's a shot.
Boy, in slow motion, Tony missing wildly with that right hand.
Kelly's going to survive this round.
Well, Kelly's in trouble, but again, what kind of finishing power does Tony Montgomery have?
Well, that was the first time that he's landed something that hurt Kelly, but he wasn't able to finish. He's leaning now. I think that he's pretty much punched himself out. He's leaning on Kelly.
Behind the elbow, behind the elbow. Behind the elbow, behind it. There you go. Again, again. Come on. Dig, dig. Get him going.
He's looking for an opening, but it's not there.
Well, Tony looks good. He looks as fresh as you can look in 78-degree temperature, 80-degree temperature. He's not cut. Although he's giving away some weight, he does look pretty fresh.
Here we go. Here's this big right hand that hurt Kelly. Had him almost out. There he was. Landed at will, but wasn't able to finish it. I mean, Kelly can take a great shot.
You didn't come over here to lose this fight.
Just take a look at this again. There it is. Bam, right hand, right on the money. And another one, and a left hook. Well, I'm surprised he was still standing after that, but boy, Kelly can take it.
Well, trainer Walt Tyler says that he kind of disagrees with the way Tony Montgomery was brought along in his career.
Jab, jab, and hook. Push him.
Thinks that with proper handling, he might still have
This is
some
your fight. He's tired.
championship effort left in him.
He ain't got nothing.
But right now, he's gone for 6 rounds with an opponent who is not expected to do much. Jerome Kelly showing a lot of heart, having lost his last 8 in a row. But Kelly was hurt in that last round.
Now we're going to see now if Montgomery can recuperate from all those punches he threw in the last round, because he looked exhausted at the end of the round, and see if Kelly can take advantage of that.
Doubles and triples. Go back. Don't back. Make him back. There you go. Come on. Doubles and triples. Take it to him. Come on. Take it to him.
And Kelly is a little bit more active this round.
Give it to him. Step to him. Step to him.
Round 7 of this scheduled 10-rounder.
Combination jab. Get out of there. Let him out. Get out of there with a jab. Keep him going.
Jerome Kelly's been in with some fighters. Knocked out in the 3rd round by Sanderline Williams, and we mentioned the 2nd round knockout at the hands of Milton McCrory back in 1987. And really since then, Jerome Kelly hasn't been winning many fights, quite frankly. Again, with this heat and humidity and conditions, the best he can hope is that Montgomery will punch himself out. But again, Tony actually looking pretty fresh, Carlos.
Well, he seems to have caught a second win now, because he's working very, very well. It's just not a lot of power in those punches. And
yeah, you don't get the feeling he's going to overpower anybody this afternoon. But still looking like he can get the job done. Round 7.
Got hit with some shots himself. And Kelly's a difficult guy to hit when he gets against the ropes. He's got his hands up. Pretty close. A very good defensive fighter in there. He's not that easy to hit. When he does get in danger, when he does get hit, is when he tries to exchange punches and he opens himself up. When he's not punching, it's very difficult for Montgomery to land his punches. That's why I think that he should be concentrating on his body attack. The hands would be down by now, and he'd have an open head.
So Tony Montgomery, through 7 rounds, appears to be ahead in this match, but we'll find out more when we come back. Montgomery pitching a shutout at this point.
I would assume. I would assume it depends. You know, some judges might have seen. I mean, at most that I would give Kelly from maybe an even round somewhere along the line, but I don't think he's won any.
Well, the same pattern for Kelly. He comes out in the early moments of the round swinging and then drops back into that defensive posture for the rest of the round while Tony Montgomery does his work.
Montgomery's gone to a little movement, a little bit more foot movement, hoping to get a crack at an opening to be able to step in there with a right hand. I think what he needs to do is use that jab, not only a single jab, but double the jab up, 1 or 2 or 3 jabs, and then come in with the right hand. I think that would open up the guard of Kelly.
Right. Jab, jab. Speed on that jab. Go ahead, work. Jab, jab, right hand over. Jab, jab, right hand over. Go ahead. Come on. Right hand lead. Go ahead.
Oh, and a nice shot. A wake-up call for Tony Montgomery.
Well, he got hit with a good right hand, and I think it kind of dazed him a little bit. He shook his head a little bit there. I think if he gets hit like that again, it might we might see some results for Kelly.
Montgomery comes in with those hands low, and certainly Kelly's got the speed. He could take advantage of that.
Sometimes a fighter will get a little bit lazy when he's dominating a fight like this and forget, you know, that in this game, one shot can turn it around for the opponent, and that's what almost happened to Montgomery that time. He got hit with a really good right hand. He's going to have to be careful because Kelly he can hit a little bit himself.
Well, Tony putting on a bit of a show right now. He knows that Kelly has got to make the fight happen now if he is indeed behind in the cards. But now Kelly
He lands a 4 straight.
doing some work, yeah, on the head of Tony Montgomery.
Come on, follow up. Follow him up. You don't wait. Come to him. Come to him. Let him go. Go ahead. Feet first. Right back. Right back. There you go.
They're screaming at Kelly to be first, and that's what he's got to do. He's got to be first, because when he is first, he was landing.
You gotta
So Sonny Oliver telling his boxer to follow up on those attacks if he can catch Tony Montgomery, because Tony bouncing around and showing some nice footwork for a change.
Where your mind?
Going to be hard to catch.
Where your mind at? Turn them punches over. Get down to the basics. Very basic boxing now.
Here, we take this. There's Kelly, right hand, right on the money. You saw that. There was an actual little.
When you hit him like that,
There's nice jabs by Montgomery.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
And Kelly, 1, 2, 3, 4 punches right after the other. And that's what they want from him. That's what they want from him in his corner. They keep telling him that. But he does that in the beginning. He comes out, does it for about 15, 20 seconds, and stops.
What about you?
That time he did it at the end of the round.
Let's get this.
Round 9. A 10-rounder involving these two middleweights, Tony Montgomery and Jerome Kelly.
Hands up, hands up. You gotta protect yourself.
You get the feeling, Carlos, that Tony Montgomery really searching for styles. You could call him a puncher brawler, but then he gets on his horse and shows some good footwork. He's a karate expert. He can kick with kickboxing skills. And it's really hard to classify Montgomery as a fighter, isn't it?
It really is, because I think he's confused himself on what he really wants to do. And also, Kelly's a difficult guy to fight. You know, when he's inside, Montgomery's landing, but it doesn't seem to be hurting him. So I think what he wants to try and do when he steps outside is hope to catch Kelly coming in.
And we see a mouthpiece on the ground just picked up by Herbert Ben, the referee, and
that was Kelly's mouthpiece. You know, that's a rule that in California, if a fighter loses a mouthpiece, you stop the bout and you put it back in because it's very dangerous. You can lose your teeth. You get hit in the mouth without your mouthpiece, and you're going to end up losing some of your teeth. And I think it's a rule that should be implemented all over the world when it comes to boxing. If you lose a mouthpiece, stop the fight and put it back in. And Kelly's talking to Montgomery.
Yeah, that's a good point, Carlos, because that mouthpiece is not going to give you any kind of advantage if it's in there or if it's out. It really is just in there to protect your teeth.
Come on. Eat first. Don't wait. Get off of the shot. That was a
Nice job by Montgomery, waiting for Kelly to punch out, and then the counterattack by Tony Montgomery.
Not only can you lose your teeth when you're fighting without a mouthpiece, but you get cut inside the mouth very easily.
Come on, now you let yours go.
This has been the pattern of this fight basically from the beginning, but there's Kelly coming back. I think this fight could have been a lot more competitive if Kelly had done a lot more of this kind of work that he's done the last couple of rounds from the beginning.
Come on, there you go, right there. Spin around, baby.
Well, Jerome Kelly has come to fight out of Akron, Ohio. Put on a good show so far. We head into the final round here from Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, Hawaii. Middleweights, Jerome Kelly and Tony Montgomery.
This is your run.
Well, coming up next, Anthony Hembrick, the Olympian, back in the ring as a light heavyweight. First, the 10th and final round of this Tony Montgomery-Jerome Kelly fight, which has been a good one so far.
The 10th round, though, it's a round we didn't think we were going to see today. Even Montgomery back on his horse, moving, using the jab.
Tony Montgomery, 23 wins, 5 losses, but he's lost 3 of his last 4 bouts. And to get him back in contention, he's got to win this one and several more to put his career back on track. And for Kelly, at 32 years old, a payday is a payday, but he has shown a lot of heart this afternoon under the sun here at Aloha Stadium. And now a right to the left cheek of Jerome Kelly.
He took a vicious right hand that time. But he's still standing.
Keep up going.
Tony measuring up, but when he goes back in with that head, Carlos, he takes his own shots.
He sure did. He just stepped in there and got hit with 2 short uppercuts by Kelly. Oh, there's the head.
Well, no finishing power. We do know that much by Tony Montgomery. He's had his chances to put Kelly down, and now with about a minute 20 to go, Tony Montgomery apparently ahead of the cards. Has got to go to work if he's going to knock his opponent out.
Yeah, I think that the punching power at 162 pounds is just not quite there for him.
That's the thing that's so amazing about Tommy Hearns, to be able to step up weight class after weight class and still have.
There's very, very few guys in the history of this game that have been able to do that. Ray Leonard was one of them. Hearns was one. Duran was another guy. Alexis Arguello was another guy. Very few guys in the history of the game.
Other guys, I think, could do it, like a Chavez, but he just doesn't have the frame to put it on.
Exactly. And this fight is going to end up basically the way it started. Both guys trying.
Final moments of this 10-rounder. And this one will go to the judges. Middleweights Tony Montgomery and Jerome Kelly are all finished. And a good show by these two fighters.
Well, I guess Montgomery can look at this two ways. They can be looked at as a disappointing performance because I guess they expected to knock Kelly out. But you can look at it as being able to get 10 good rounds of boxing.
All right, we'll take a timeout, then come back ringside for the decision on this bout in just a moment. Please stay with us. Well, welcome back to Aloha Stadium. And as we look at some of the action in the waning moments of that fight, as you say, Carlos, it ended pretty much the way it began.
It did, but here's Montgomery, a good left hook, back down to the body, back up to the head, right hand. Very nice combination right at the end of the bell there. And here it is again, good right hand right there, but he just didn't seem to have the power to end this fight. Hook to the body, hook to the head, right hand to the head. It's a nice combination to end the fight.
All right, as Tony Montgomery awaits the decision, we send you ringside to Jimmy Lennon Jr. and the announcement on the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we have a unanimous decision. All three judges at ringside agree the winner, Dr. Detroit, Tony Montgomery.
So Tony Montgomery improves his record to 24-5, picks up his first win of 1991 at 29 years old.